He wants to like live in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah.
You know, he wants
Definitely.
everything that comes from everywhere can be eaten.
And this might be the worm.
This could be the worm talking. Because that is what you would say if you were a worm trying to spread other worms across the population.
Yeah.
Eat everything.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is America.
Right.
Everybody's like, what?
The streets are paved with food. Just go for a drive and
Eat whatever you
before you
find.
get to McDonald's, you've already passed 3 meals. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Overshadowed, the only podcast about the families of people who changed the world. Today, we're going to be dipping into a lot of things. We got a nice menagerie for you, a charcuterie board of facts, intel, information. We're going to be talking about RFK, brain worms. We got some Charles Angles coming at you later. But, Charles, tell me, what do you know about RFK?
I know he sounds like he's been choked for 10 years straight. This actually would be good because I don't know too much about him other than the headlines. I know he's got beef jerky skin. He's on HGH and
He's ripped.
He's ripped and he seems a little crazy. I saw that picture of him eating carcass on the New York Post.
He loves eating roadkill.
Yeah,
that's
but
a big
I don't
hobby
really
of his.
know about his values or morals. To me, sometimes these people seem a little bit larger than life, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's going to be an episode on Joe Rogan, and I'm never going to hear about him again.
Yeah.
Like I kind of refuse to hop on those because sometimes there's so many viral people now
Right.
that you're like,
I can't concern myself with the actual important ones.
Yeah.
That could change policy.
I got Haktula taking up a lot of my brain right
Yeah.
now. I don't know if RFK, I'll see it in
I
passing.
got Charlie XCX. I got Brad Summer.
Yeah,
I mean,
come
I can't
on.
catch up on every important
Let's
issue.
go. Yeah, I'm watching people eating hot peppers.
Right. Yeah, I got increasingly hot sauces
Yeah, there was a few.
that I need to see how celebrities can withstand.
How's this for a cute little, before we jump into this, within, you know how every community has like a drama or a fake or a phony?
A drama?
Like there's a drama within the community or there's a fake or there's a phony. Something
Okay, I didn't know
kind
it.
of,
Yes. Okay.
I scrolled through some of the hot pepper eaters and there's this guy who has millions of followers and he was called out because he cuts the back of the peppers and goes, oh.
Okay.
And then everybody was a huge...
Oh, he hollows out the bagel.
He hollows out the
He
bagel.
hollows out the bagel.
No.
Oh, well, that isn't right.
The whole Ring of Fire community got pissed, and then there's all these videos. And I'll tell you another thing why I never liked him.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
stolen, scorched asshole.
people- yeah. And then there's this all these videos calling him a fake. My kids looked up to you. I'm like,
Kids.
you guys got into such a loser thing.
I've been stunting my kid's growth by buying him scorpion peppers
Yeah.
because of you, because I've seen how successful you are.
Because he said he
That's
wanted
a lot
to be
of
the best
dreams
like
ruined.
you. We had to tear down your poster. We had to
Yeah.
unplant your peppers. Do you know what you've done
We
to this
poured all the
family?
sauce down the drain.
My wife realized without...
We're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
It was the only thing holding us together. Wow, so he was faking. So was he cutting out the seeds as well, or just?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So he was going,
How did they find out? They
Well,
looked at the shadow or a
think
reflection
so,
in
yeah.
a watch.
I think so. I think it's like a very... If you're a real pepper pleaser, you know how to... pepper popper. There we go. Put
Pepper
that in. I
popper.
was looking for a term. Yeah, if you're a real hot pepper popper, I think they
You're
knew.
Peter.
Yeah.
Picking packs of pickled peppers. What is it? Peter picked a
I thought it was Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
what?
A peck.
a peck.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kissing them.
It's a peck.
He was the original hot ones, just
Yeah.
kissing peppers out of the ground.
Yeah. That's what made it.
Peter Parker. Pictures, Piper. I need pictures of the peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack. Is it? It's
A
not
peck.
pack.
Peck.
A peck of pickled.
I think
is
it's-
it pickled?
Probably not pickled because you can't
Prickly?
pick those.
No, Peter Pike. No, hold on. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. All right, Peter Piker. I can't even do the first and last name.
I know you
What a
have to-
twister.
You have to stop and really get all
P-
philosophical with it. Peter Piper.
Peter Piper picked
Why not
a pack
me?
of pickled
Peck.
peppers.
Okay.
I think it's pickled.
Okay.
Look it up.
Wait, that's your final answer?
Final answer is pickled.
One more time for me?
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
Okay.
And I think it's pack as well. Okay. Which in that case, is he just at the store? He's like, oh, a pack of pickled peppers. I've been looking for these. Is he actually out in the fields or is he just at a Safeway? This is a show where we air out who's a fraud. Peter Piper, Ring of Fire. What's his name?
I got to look the guy up. I don't know. Because I got out of it. Here's the twist. Ready? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
And peck, okay.
A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, what's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? I've never heard the full.
This is a commercial for pickled peppers.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, this was.
Pickled peppers are a product. That's funny that he is just at a grocery store.
Yeah, that is funny.
And then Peter got some toilet paper and toothpaste, and Peter Piper picked a peck. What's a peck?
I think it's a group of peppers.
Group of peppers.
A school of peppers.
Josh Peck. A bite or a jab to eat bit by bit. A quick kiss. A unit of measurement. A peck is a unit of dry volume that's equal to 1/4 of a bushel. Oh, okay. So he's picking up a peck of pickled peppers. All right, it all makes sense. The guy faking his peppers.
Oh yeah, so I thought that was funny because I was scrolling along and then I saw people being like calling him out and you know. And the way that the real pepper.
So now what? He has to get like a drone that shoots him 360 as he eats the pepper.
Probably. Well, I think he did redeem himself. I didn't get too much into the lore, but I saw one of
a bunch of seeds.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's the punishment for faking it.
He's in the OR because he's going to need surgery immediately after.
That's what you call assassin. Like capsaicin.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. No, it was good. It was good. I was just trying to think of more stuff.
How boring is your town where you got to get into eating really hot stuff?
I know, and you got to watch that. You watch a guy just, oh, fuck.
And that's the thing, though, but some of these guys are so good at it that they just talk through it.
What are they talking about? So they're just doing an uncomfortable solo pod? Like an excruciating solo pod? Yeah. And then the pepper is kind of their catalyst for ideas. And
it's
and
like
opinions.
it seems like a mad scientist community because there's always somebody who's making the next
He's
hottest
eating the
pepper.
Lightning.
Yeah.
That animates him.
And
I'm alive! And then what? He talks about Sydney Sweeney's new ass pic. Did you guys see that? Oh, God. I mean, some people are saying it's big, but I think it's just the angle. Like, what? I'm curious to know what he's talking about.
I don't think that's a great idea for a podcast, and we will be changing our theme.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a heavy pivot soon. We will show the full pepper. Do you mind if we jump to RFK?
Hit me.
All right. So I'm not really gonna speak to RFK's politics. You can go to any podcast if you want to hear that. He talks pretty eloquently about them. He is the best spoken of all three of the candidates.
Yeah, but he's got the worst voice.
Yeah, that's true. He's got the best words, worst voice.
Which makes you, how long can you listen to the guy?
He could never be president.
That's what you need as a good leader. If Martin Luther King had that voice.
Yeah, Obama had a great voice, still does. Mm-hmm. But yeah, RFK sounds like he's like constantly sitting on an washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the environment.
What happened to the voice? What's the cause?
I have what he has.
You have what he has?
I have the name of what he has in my notes app, is what I should have said. I don't know. It's like a spemiastic diaskopaski.
Oh. So Molly's cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Russian Jew that snuck inside of him. I don't know. It's a disease. I don't really know. But then you hear one of his family speak, and it sounds kind of like him. And it's like,
oh, really?
Are you guys kissing, or is this genetic?
Oh, yeah.
Because they all kind of sound like, you know.
Huh.
They're just on a train with no shocks. On a bumpy gravel road their whole life.
Oh, how they have fallen. Now you're getting down to the curses in the voice.
I know. Yeah, even the living ones can't catch a break. You know? They got fucking Ursula's voice. They're trying to...
Holy shit. I'm sorry, guys.
And he's married to Cheryl Hines, the Curb Your Enthusiasm lady.
Oh, which one is that? I
Larry's
just started watching
wife on Curb.
Wow.
Yeah, hot lady, funny lady.
That's crazy.
So,
what does she think about all this?
She is very pissed that he endorsed Trump, which brings me to my point about this, is that he's a little irrelevant now that he's endorsed Trump. He's, you know, he's kissed the boot, kissed the ring.
Kissed the golden shoe.
Yeah, he's kissed the golden sneaker. So now I really think he's only useful as like a cautionary tale against parasitic worms.
Okay.
Because he's had this brain worm.
Yeah.
And I looked more into these worms, and it's a big problem. It's actually, and we're going to talk more about this later, but just a little teaser, brain worms are the leading cause of epilepsy worldwide.
Wow.
30%. So there's a lot of other reasons you could have epilepsy, but a big chunk of the pie is brain worms.
Wow.
That you can get from uncooked pork.
Oh my God.
Shit touching your food. So it's like poor, unsanitized places, or the guy, the cook just is rushing. And I think RFK got it from uncooked pork.
Wow.
But when you look more into RFK and like just who he is aside from a politician, just like who he is as a guy, he is the closest Kennedy to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, for sure.
He's eating all kinds of meat. He's getting sick. He's like an avid listener of Joe Rogan who tries to live like Rogan and then gets very sick.
Yes.
So he's like eating a bunch of elk, and then he's like, I have mercury poisoning now.
It's like, no, you can't buy that's the thing that people always try to say, like the Joe Rogan lifestyle is like, remember, he hunts his elk. Don't just go to 7-Eleven and buy the elk.
Yeah, he pays $2,000 to go onto a reservation to hunt the healthiest elk, that's been fed by a mystical stream.
Yeah.
So it's like part god or something. He's like killing the mother of the forest, and then he eats that. And then he, does a commercial for Alpha Brain, which I'm looking into. I'm like, it's like over-the-counter Adderall, it seems.
I've tried a couple of, because they sell it in single-serve packets. I felt nothing.
Really?
And I was like, well, if you're selling it in a packet, I should feel something, because that's you saying like even a little bit will make your brain alpha.
A packet?
Like one of those, like my electrolyte. Like a
Yeah, you sure it wasn't a beta packet? By accident? Alpha Beta Brain?
Yeah, I got an omega Beta Brain.
You're just answering emails. I'll get right on that.
Yes, of
Beta
a company
Brain.
I don't work at.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
As per my last email, I did say
Going
sorry.
on to job listings and helping other people apply.
I'll hold your purse.
Yeah, you're offering to hold random women's purses.
Do you want me to hold your?
Do you ever do that when you see a lady?
I've never offered to.
Never, not a purse. Miss, can I hold all your money for you? Just as you walk across the street. No, but you see a lady with bags and she's holding the box and she's got a lamp falling off her shoulder.
What is this?
What do you do?
How often you seeing this?
They're
lady?
moving. They're they're schlepping.
Lady. No,
not necessarily moving, but they have a lot of shit.
No, I'll never do that.
I never either.
That's their. They. It's weird in that environment because then it's like, what am I sexist?
Why am I? Oh, sure. Am I sexist? Am I trying to fuck them?
Also, my luck.
There's too many motives that they think we have.
And they're like, why? And you're like, look, I'm just trying to help. But then as soon as they would give it to me, I'd drop it. It's heavy.
Yeah, true.
Now you have to spend a while with this lady and like buy her stuff back.
Gotta like Google what you should Venmo her.
You have to like Kelly Flublik things.
I have a boner the whole time because I did want to fuck her. And that's why I'm doing this.
And now you're thinking, well, maybe out of this, I could still probably. I'm gonna see her more, so I could probably.
Because I'm gonna have to deliver all this stuff.
Yeah,
that
she
I
does
broke.
hate me, but I will have a chance.
When
to
I
go
drop
back.
off her new bike,
Yeah.
I'll make my move.
I'll pretend. I'll ask to use the bathroom. Classic.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll come out and I'll say, "How's the bike work?"
What were we talking about? Alpha Brain, Beta Brain, Joe Rogan. Yeah, he's RFK. He does get sick a lot. Like he eats, which is I think very interesting, given that he's an environmental lawyer and he's a big activist, and a big part of his platform is trying to reduce chronic illness and disease in everybody, but especially children.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he'll go and he'll eat, fish from a stream, but he'll be eating too much fish and he gets mercury poisoning. These are all real examples. He was on a trip. So he also does falconing, which is where you wear a big oven mitt and, a falcon lands on you. And you basically, instead of a gun, you use a falcon.
And what, you fight crime?
Go get it. No, you hunt.
I think also some of it is,
falconing is.
I think you can foster a falcon that needs to learn how to do that.
That's phase
And then
one.
you let it go. And then you go, now that you trust me, you are my gun.
Yeah, you are the gun that I summon.
This is Jeremy. He's my falcon.
Yeah.
The first guy with the falcon just takes over the town. I'm the sheriff. Well, who has Jeremy? I'm the sheriff. And the falcon, Jeremy goes, grabs his hat, puts it on his head.
Yeah, Jeremy is like God's will.
Yeah.
You start by fostering it?
I think that's a way that, I think my dad's friend does that. Like takes them in, falcons them, and then lets them go.
He falcons the falcon?
Yeah.
They're just birds when they come to him. And then he falcons them up.
Yeah, it's like
they leave as falcons.
Remember, toast is bread. First, it totally changes
until it goes to my dad's friend Gary's house, and then it becomes a falcon.
Then it becomes toast, and he nails it.
So what does he do? He just
Sunday.
sharpens their claws, and
Yeah, I think
trains them again.
throws something.
Throwing
throws
fish.
a mice into the.
Yeah. Again. You're rushing. Yeah, he can't catch anything. He's just throwing fish at him. Oh. All right, so you foster a falcon, but then just thinking about the logistics of this, I think they might live because he was going. This is all going to relate to how he tried to eat a piece of roadkill. He was on a falconing trip.
Okay.
Which, by the way, as part of his campaign earlier on, you could win a falconing lesson from him and Cheryl.
That's a great
if you
prize.
voted for him or donated.
That's a great prize.
Amazing prize.
They should have done that if you got a free COVID shot.
Yeah, he's leading adventures and
That's
expeditions,
amazing.
zip lining, whitewater rafting with RFK.
Yeah, you got Disney cruise with RFK. Those are great incentives.
I know. I can't believe he
Those
didn't
are really,
get more.
really good.
And I kind of get why he endorsed Trump because one of the reasons is he's the Democrats have fucked me. I keep getting on the ballot. People are voting for me, and they're delegitimizing all that. They're throwing it out due to various.
Yeah, why are people surprised if that's an obvious reason? Everybody kind of knows that about him, right?
I don't think anyone's surprised.
I
mean,
they're
his family's
pissed.
surprised.
They're pissed.
Yeah, they're pissed.
Yeah.
No, it's not really a shock, but yeah, the Dems have done him dirty. Oh, so what I was trying to say about how falconing works is I feel like they're just in a preserve and you let them go.
Yeah.
And then once you get there, you're and he lands on you because he remembers you.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Some of them are trained to do that. So I think the point is that they're released and then you can go find them. Is that, or do you bring your own falcon?
I don't know, but I think
I don't think there's falcons sitting in the car with the people.
I think, yeah, you're right. Well, this is the only reason I say my thing is my dad keeps telling me his friend is coming to Arizona from another state, so he's going to meet up and hang out with his friend. And he goes, yeah, my dad tells me the same thing every time I get on the phone with him. Mm-hmm. So I know for a fact every day when I talk to my dad, he's going to tell me this guy's coming to Arizona to release his falcons.
Okay, how do you travel with a falcon? Strap some meat to the back of the plane and hope they follow it? Or the back of the car, I guess.
Just
I assumed he was
circular
flying
bird
in
cages
from out
with
of
cloaks
state.
over it.
Yeah.
Or what if you just have them out like a circus
on a bike
animal?
rack? No, but driving with them. You got to put them on the top, on one of those tules.
Yeah, I think probably fit them in one of the canoes that goes on top of a car.
Yeah.
Just put the shell
You probably
over
have
'em.
to travel with a canoe if you want to transport falcons.
Yeah.
Anybody who's ever transported a falcon, write in and tell us how you did that. Did you sedate it?
Probably got to sedate
It feels like
right?
you can't just be out in the car with you, like a dog,
Yeah.
sitting on your lap.
Falcons are big.
Yeah. Well, dogs are big.
Yeah, but they don't have a
Can't the baby
wingspan.
there.
They don't have a wingspan.
I don't know if they are big.
What kind of dog? How big are falcons, height-wise? We don't need to look it up. But
2 feet, 3 feet.
Okay.
Not crazy big.
You're right.
A dog can be big. Anyway.
But I think you're right.
Well, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
No, but what if you're driving around all day and you can't find the falcon?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm wondering. It's how do you know if you don't travel with the falcon, if you just go to this preserve and you wait for it to land on you? What if you don't find you could just have a bust of a day I couldn't get it out.
Couldn't get him.
Yeah.
I thought we were close.
Falcon didn't want to come out today.
I don't know what he was doing. It's been a
Just
while.
wanted to hunt on his own. He's
Yeah.
going through this whole phase.
Some guy who's faking it at the preserve just to
He
meet
doesn't
people.
have a falcon.
Couldn't get him. Just has the glove.
Yeah.
Rumors start to circulate. I feel like he's a guy who just bought a glove.
No, he has performance anxiety. He's the crowd is too big.
Yeah, he's.
I'm gonna have to start reducing my tour sizes.
His
but
no,
increasing the price, of course.
That's funny. The bird's in the trees,
Yeah. No.
Like
no,
behind,
no, not today.
in the play, backstage, but too afraid to come out.
And he's every day he's fuck, I can't do it.
We're going home.
Fuck. It's just too much. That one time that I slipped and didn't catch the fish, and everyone was disappointed.
Nobody remembers that. They do.
They do. It's on the review. It's on the website. Somebody left a review, and it has 10 upvotes.
I've seen the TikToks. Come on.
Falcon misses fish. Falcon humiliating miss.
All right. So what happened on the falconing trip?
Okay. So they're on their way to this falconing trip, and the front driver hits this bear cub in the road. Okay, so RFK gets out. He sees the dead bear. He's like, "Oh, great!
Yeah. Oh, he's already out of the car. What is he doing?
I just put this on my vision board. I wanted to smoke. I wanted to make Smokey the Bear in my smoker." he sees the dead bear. He's like, "Oh, great! Can somebody help me get this in the car?" And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to like skin and skin it, and I want to skin it and put the meat in my fridge." And I think people with him were like, "No, I don't. No, I don't think you should do that. Like, this is a dead. I don't." Do people eat bear? You know, these conversations are being had. I don't think people eat bear. Have you ever eaten bear? I mean, crocodile once. You know, now they're talking about the weirdest thing they've ever ate, and bear's not on anyone's list. So I think they convince him not to eat the bear, but he wanted to eat the bear is the point.
Yeah.
He was down to eat the bear. And I think it's actually a very strategic political move for him to be eating all this wild shit, because he's like, look, I want to live in an America where you can eat the dead bear on the side of the road and not have to worry about getting brainworms.
Yeah.
That's the country I want to live in.
He's like, that's the freshest bear.
Yeah, you should be able to. I want to live in a country where you can eat any dead pigeon or crow or raven that you see on the side of the road and not have to worry about parasites.
Yeah, he's like, I'm into food. I'll try anything. It seems like it's his favorite hobby.
He's big into
wild game.
Well, he's big into processed foods are killing our kids.
Got it.
So he's like, the chemicals in our foods are killing us, and he's doing the supersize me where he's like, I'm going to eat every animal I find and prove to you that this country's sick.
Oh, that is a good.
That's what I'm saying.
He is walking the walk.
You know what I mean?
And he's trying to cook the cock.
Cook the carcass.
Yeah.
He's eating roadkill and being like, is this the country you want to live in? Where you can't just munch a squirrel? You can't shish kebab a possum on your way home from a night at the bar?
Yeah, that's what all these people in the South say. They're like, we ate wombat or whatever. And
he's like, this road should be clean enough to eat off of. You know? We should be able to eat natural stuff, but we can't. We can't even eat, an antelope that we found half dead in a dumpster. What the fuck? I mean, do we live where are we living here? Guatemala?
But to walk the walk, and then you get the disease, and then you but that's
see, I told you we have a real problem. I ate a dead bear and I got sick
because of America.
Because of what is that called? Bioaccumulation of chemicals and microplastics. The bear was mostly plastic.
Yeah.
I tried to cook it. It melted.
Also, you have to get back in the van.
Well, he put the bear in the van. So he got the bear in there, and they're like, so what are we going to do with this bear? Everyone's like, pretty weird.
Yeah, it's right there.
He put sunglasses on him. He's draped around him. It's fun. And they're on their way to this falconing trip. And then I think he had to go to the airport and do some other shit. And he just couldn't leave the bear in the car for that long. I think the problem wasn't that people dissuaded him. He was like, no, I have too many stops to make before I can put it in the fridge. So it's going to, start cooking in the parking lot at Costco. And we're going to have some very big problems. So he goes to Central Park and he's like, wouldn't it be funny if we put the dead bear cub in Central Park? On a bike path and just,
And at this point, does
freaked out some biker that thought he hit it or something?
So now he's veering off into YouTube prank guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to find his lane.
He's got this little child brain kind of popping in.
Right, let's eat the bear.
What are we going to do with the bear?
Well, if we're not going to eat it, then we definitely got to put it somewhere.
Guys, we have a bear. Do you not realize how fucking lucky we are?
Yeah.
We could do anything with this. Do you know how many views we could get scaring people with the bear? Our lives could change. It happens every day to people who commit.
He is Gen Z at heart.
Yeah, it is. It's very funny.
He just doesn't really have cameras with him that often. He just has these stories. But what he's doing is very do it for the bit.
Yeah,
it's like YOLO. When's the next time we're going to find a dead bear? We got to do something with it.
That's truly if Eskimos used every part of the animal, they would start to involve pranks.
Yeah.
that's using every part of it. Nice. Before we cooked it, we make a prank vid.
Yeah. You just, when your friend's sleeping, you glue the asshole to his forehead. Like, dude, you have 3 eyes. Your third eye. Guys, come on.
RFK has bear prank videos and the saran wrap before the bathroom videos.
Yeah.
He seems like one of those guys.
Yeah. Bucket of water on the door frame. It's just bear blood.
His whole house is pranks, and you're like, I hate this guy.
Yeah, he has a trap door that just falls into a pit with a bunch of dead animals in it.
Yeah.
I got you.
Find your way out.
Yeah.
Every time you text him to hang, he's like, come over. And you're like, I'm not coming over. Why?
You walk up to the house like...
You press the doorbell, a million spiders fall on your head. Did you press the spider button or the doorbell?
I got all of this on Ring. I'll upload it later and tag you.
Do you want to collab?
Yeah. He's a little prankster.
He's a weird guy.
He is funny, too. Like,
yeah.
somebody asked him about, whether because the worm got into his brain and it did die, but not before eating a chunk of his brain. And he was having mental, like, fogginess and memory problems. And then I think either his brain's grown back or, he's just learned to cope without it. But someone was like, do you think the brain worm's going to affect your ability in this debate? And he's like, I think I could eat 5 more worms and still beat Trump, even with a 6-worm handicap. That's funny.
That's so funny.
That's really funny.
That's
a 6-worm
great.
handicap?
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a funny
he's
guy.
married to Cheryl Hines. She's a comedian.
Yeah, that's a very funny guy. To really lean into the worms in your brain.
Yeah.
It really proves that leaning in can really absolve you of anything. Because now everybody's like, yeah.
Well, if you're clever enough to make that joke, then you've kind of disproven that a
Yeah.
worm's eaten enough
Yeah.
to hinder you, to slow you down.
Well, yeah, who knows? Because Biden also tries to be a little snarky. Sometimes he says some things where you're like, there he is.
Yeah, well, that's right. And when it fails, then it's just proving everybody's point.
Yeah.
But the worm did not win. Or maybe it did. And maybe the worm's taken over him, and that's why he's so well-spoken. Because he's full worm.
I mean, that's a smart worm. He got into a Kennedy's brain.
Yeah, he's full Wormlord.
Yeah.
Those guys' brains are just magnets for disaster.
Yeah, it is. It is the family where I would believe that curses are real. I mean, everybody's died
of course,
horribly.
Of course. If it wasn't a bullet with JFK, it was a scalpel and rosemary, and
then wasn't
a worm and
RFK
RFK
shot in the stomach?
right,
First
he escaped
RFK?
the brain trauma. I don't know if he was shot in the head.
I think it was stomach.
Yeah, they got bad brain juju.
Yeah, they're putting off bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
Skiing accident, plane crash, right?
Yeah. Can I read you the story? I actually found a pretty good recounting of the story. Kennedy, an animal lover and former environmental lawyer, says he was driving upstate early one morning to take a group of people falconing in the Hudson River Valley when a driver in front of him fatally hit a bear cub. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and I put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear.
Oh, my God.
He explains matter-of-factly. It was in very good condition and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. Kennedy added that it is legal in New York State to get a bear tag to take home a roadkill bear. Such a tag must be written up by a law enforcement officer.
Okay,
so,
it's
he's
legal.
playing by the rules here.
Yeah, he knows the rules.
The bear never made it back to his Westchester home. Kennedy says he got waylaid by a busy day of falconry.
I was waylaid.
A busy day of falconry.
Busy day of falcon.
It kept catching stuff, and it was, we were on a real streak. You don't stop when you got a hot falcon like that, It keeps bringing back buddies. You don't want to leave. Well, let's see how many we can get. Right?
Maybe you guys fly me away to your nest.
Yeah. Let's see if we can fill up this whole pillowcase with bunnies. Hit each other with it. Film it for YouTube.
Scare people in Central Park.
Find a guy to dump them on.
These are my prank falcons.
Yeah, my prank bag of dead rabbits. Kennedy says he got waylaid by a busy day of falconry and then had to rush back to New York City for a dinner at Peter Luger Steakhouse, which ran late, and unfortunately declined his offer to cook the bear.
Is that real?
No, I said that. I had to go to the airport, and the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car because that would have been bad. Kennedy continues. This is a funny guy. Then, as he puts it, the little bit of redneck in me had an idea. Kennedy just happened to have an old bike in his car. Oh my God, he staged it, which he said someone had asked him to get rid of. He recalled that the city had just put in the bike lanes after a number of serious accidents and decided to stage the bear in Central Park as if it had been hit by a bike. So really, it's a campaign for bike safety. This is all, he could have framed New York State on this, New York City, He's like,
they would have checked the cameras.
True.
Is that RFK getting a bear out of his trunk?
Yeah, no one's going to believe you. It is a crazy story to try to pass off. You're like, this is Eric Adams just planting false evidence to justify his, evil bike lanes. I wasn't drinking, of course, but people were drinking with me who thought this was a good idea, Kennedy said. So we went and did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something. The 6-month, 44-pound cub made national news after a dog walker stumbled upon it that fateful October morning in a wide-open part of the park, right near the path where thousands of people run and bike each day. Florence Slatkin, with her dog Paco, points to the spot where she and a friend discovered the dead bear cub. Oh, so it's like she's like pointing to a bush. Okay. Law enforcement took the bear to Albany for analysis and determined that it had been hit by a car, likely outside the park. They also confiscated the bike to test for fingerprints. God, they like wasted police resources on this. Who did this? Who killed this bear? And why did he leave his bike? This bike's in perfectly good shape. I was worried that my prints were all over that bike, Kennedy says in the video, drawing laughs from the room. But the mystery remained unsolved, and the story eventually faded away. Now, almost 10 years later, he says he was prompted to come clean ahead of an anticipated New Yorker expose.
What do we got on RFK? You're not going to believe this.
They got a lot.
You remember that bear? That was him.
It includes a photo of Kennedy, who was 60 at the time, posing with his hands inside the bear's bloody mouth and grinning.
I saw that one.
That's a tough one,
That
with an
one's
exaggerated
tough.
grimace on his face. Maybe that's where I got my brainworm, he told the magazine. I do like that he keeps throwing the brainworm in.
Yeah.
Like, remember the worm, huh?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'll show you my
Let's
worm.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 800-pound worm in my brain. I don't care. I'm more than my worm, right? Can we talk about anything other than the worm?
That's what I've been saying for years.
Yeah, I'm more than my worm, you guys. I know you see me and you just think a worm with a guy on him. But
That worm's got a guy.
yeah.
But really, this guy's got a worm. Wow, that is a wild and wacky story.
Yeah, wild and wacky indeed, Charles. Wild and wacky.
Yeah, it's a good section.
Wild and wacky.
Today's wild and wacky. Helga Pataki. All right, sorry.
Yeah, so it's funny that it's funny that he staged it.
Oh yeah, it's super fun.
Like what would you do?
If
Hi.
there was we planted a dead
So we
bear
hired
cub.
John Quinones, and we had him hiding the bear. We skinned the bear and had John hide at him. Or like they do a what would you do, but it's like they put the fake bear there and then they just have a biker continually run into him and fall off the bike. Oh my God. Hey, that's fucked up, man. You just killed that bear cub? Hey, you better bounce before the mom arrives.
And what's the right
Hi.
thing to do in this?
That's a good question.
Give it CPR. They have somebody.
Yeah,
giving
give it CPR. Yeah. So RFK would come out. Hi. I noticed you didn't try to skin the bear and harvest the meat for your family. Any reason why? That's like the right thing to do that no one did. Oh. I noticed you didn't even see if any of the organs were recoverable. What do you have to say about it for yourself? You know, there's families all across the world that would have celebrated such a bounty. And you just shoved it off into the bushes. Like it was worthless.
He's eating bear meat as he's talking.
Yeah, he's eating bear. Yeah. just sucking on an amputated bear paw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe how he stays so jacked.
I think he's got to be taking something. That guy is grilled, and he's like 65.
Yeah.
That guy.
Oh, that is funny. Just having a guy continually run. Sorry, that's funny. Having a guy continually run into a dead bear.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's got to be like, oh my God, that guy just hit a dead bear. He just goes right through it.
Bling. It's an Uber Eats
fuck.
guy.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm late. You've never
Yeah.
guessed what I saw.
He doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, 3 minutes to go. I'm going to be late. Hi, I'm RFK, and I'm running for president. Wouldn't you like to raise your children in a world where you could eat this?
It's a rotted bear carcass in the commercial. Yeah, no, he hasn't really been without the bear for the past 6 months. It's getting pretty disgusting.
He carries it around. He sleeps with it.
It's our
He
bedding.
sucks its thumb in bed. It's really weird.
Yeah, I feel like he's the type of guy that if you go on a morning walk, he's going to be eating some bugs.
Yeah, he's going to be making a few detours.
Yeah.
You know, for some...
He's going to catch a cricket.
some electrolytes.
Yeah.
He's gonna be pulling bark off of dead trees. You know,
There's a lot of protein in maggots.
He's a guy. He's gonna bend over, bite down on a bush because a butterfly's on the flower.
Yeah, he's gonna be chomping dead logs like their ears are corn.
Yeah.
That's probably why his voice sounds like that. He's just
eating
so many bugs and
that's all those claw marks on the way down.
Right, it's all the living animals trying to scratch their way out of his throat.
What is that? Acid reflux? Arachnid reflux. It's
A raccoon I ate earlier. A raccoon I had for breakfast.
don't chew a lot. I'm like a dinosaur. I'll eat that, and then I swallow a rock.
I'm very busy. The rock washes it down. I'm very busy, so I don't really have time to chew.
Isn't that your joke? I have a friend who's lactose intolerant, but he's very busy.
Yes, lactose intolerant, but she's very busy. Yeah, it's gay. But he wants to live. His whole slogan is "Make America Healthy Again," which, as we've seen, is just the ability to eat. It's like living in Willy Wonka's factory.
Yeah.
Right? Everything's edible. He wants
to
to live in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah.
He wants everything that comes from everywhere can be eaten.
And this might be the worm.
This could be the worm talking. Yeah.
Because
that is what you would say if you were a worm trying to spread other worms across the population.
Yeah.
Eat everything.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is America.
Right.
Everybody's like, what?
The streets are paved with food. Just go for a drive and
eat whatever you
before you get to McDonald's, you've already passed 3 meals. But yeah, he wants to live in
Lily,
hey.
don't do that.
No.
Don't yell at my cat. I will yell.
I want to yell. Well, I want to keep podcasting about Cloudy with a Chance. You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't seen the movie. But
well, you get it. Everything's a hamburger and the sea is made of marinara.
Yeah, that's fun. I understand the want. I would like that too.
Yeah. But I agree. It could be that the worm he's just Wormlord now.
Because that's an
Wormlord
extreme way of
Jr.
making America healthy again. That's the worm.
In fact, the assassination of JFK may have just been an initial failed attempt to implant a worm.
Yeah.
They might have
they were trying to just worm him up.
Set the calibration a little too high, and it went right. It was a little too powerful.
Maybe they were in his ear, into his brain.
Embed.
Yeah.
Yeah, not fully go through.
Yeah.
But the Wormlords have, they're here. That is the advice you would give to people because that's how you get worms. You eat dead animals. You eat things that have come in contact with shit. Mm-hmm. So it's either uncooked pork or dirty, unhygienic conditions. So if poop is near food or if it's on vegetables or something that you later eat that weren't properly washed, then you can get worms. And there's 3 types of these worms. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got the Tinea saginata, which is a flat worm. Saginata is flat, I guess. Tinea solium, which is the dangerous one that RFK had that we're going to be talking about. And solium means head of state. The chief worm.
It's a funny name for a worm.
Yeah, the dominant solium.
Silverback worm.
Yeah. And then the third worm, you got Tinea asiatica.
Oh, I think I know her.
Yeah, she's
an
an accountant.
On the show that I was on.
Yeah, she's in the mailroom. Asian. That just means Asian. It's
really?
An Asian worm, yeah. So, the Saginata and Solium use hooks and suckers to consume their hosts. An Asiatica uses chopsticks.
Oh.
So it takes a little longer to do any real damage.
Longer lifespan.
Yeah. But I think if you eat it in poop, somehow if they get into your stomach as eggs and not as worms, then the eggs can become cysts, and then those cysts can travel throughout your body.
Wow.
So they can get into your muscles, they can get into your eyes, they can get into your brain, and wherever they are, they just wreak havoc. Weak muscles, you can go blind if they're in your eyes. If they get in your brain, you lose memories, all this stuff. They're literally eating your past away.
Yeah, they're eating memories.
They're eating your memories, yep.
It's funny because you think of the brain as this mystical, and then it's no, they're just eating that part of it.
No, that's where when you were 8 is.
Yeah.
That's 8 years old right there.
It's a leaf.
Yeah, it's eating the tree of your life. It's eating your family tree. That's who my mom is. Goodbye.
See you later.
Yeah, epilepsy is caused by there's a big complicated word for it. I might have said it in the beginning. When one of these worms gets into your central nervous system, so your brain or your spinal fluid, it's called Neurocysterococcus,
Okay.
I think. I'm not going to say that again, so hope you got it the first time and hope I got it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Read that. Neurocysticoccus? Neurocysticorosis?
Neurocystic urcosis. Neurocystic urcosis.
Neurocysticercosis.
Neurocystocirrhosis.
Neurocysticercosis.
Yeah.
All right. Of the liver. Neurocysticercosis, when you get a worm in your brain, is the leading cause of epilepsy. Yeah, we said that in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 30% of epilepsy worldwide is caused by a parasite that people just don't know about. They don't know that it's happening, and if they did, they don't have the treatment.
Oof.
So it's like it's actually kind of an overshadowed disease. So
Yeah.
everyone's working on HIV and AIDS and diabetes and these other things, but this is like a poorer disease that you really only get if you're in dirty conditions that people really aren't working on.
Ooh.
You know?
Sorry. Yeah, you just stuck with it.
Yeah. And also, a bad thing about getting epilepsy in some of these like very rural, kind of superstitious, religious places is, especially in history, but maybe even now, some villages and stuff think people with epilepsy are witches. So imagine being a poor girl with epilepsy, incurable brainworm epilepsy. They chain you up to like a fucking tree on a hill.
You having a seizure
until the
and they're
demon
like,
leaves you.
Yeah, like that's the witch.
Yeah.
We can't do anything to her. And they're like, help!
Well, the spirit must,
Purge itself.
through her body.
And it's just a worm being like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just having a great day.
Yeah, dancing around in her brain.
I have to pee.
Okay. What else we got about the worms? Of course, I'm learning all this, and then I'm like, do I have worms?
I know.
Because I watched a video of like 10 parasites, and I'm like, okay, I could have one of these. Because I'm looking at the numbers, and they're like, I'm looking at the numbers.
People do.
And they're like, all right, 60,000 here, 100 million here, 1 billion here. I'm like, I bet I'm in this.
I think, yeah, you can do, I'm doing a worm cleanse soon. People
Are you?
People have worms.
You are?
I swear to God.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this was going to be like a touchy personal subject for you.
No,
this whole worm
people
thing.
have them. You can just do it.
You said you were going to do it.
I'm going to do one.
Are you being serious?
It's just like eating garlic and stuff at night, and a couple other things scare worms out of you, so you shit them out. But
Scare worms out.
But people
of you.
have worms.
Do you know that you have worms?
No. Because
How often do you scooch around on your ass?
I would say like 3 times a day.
Okay, well that's nothing crazy.
Okay.
I would say 5 or more. You might have worms.
Yeah,
but otherwise, actually, worms in your asshole. That's a thing.
Yeah,
an itchy asshole.
Yeah, an itchy asshole.
It's
worms.
like ringworm or something. No, it's pinworm. I watched the whole video about it yesterday.
Jeez.
I watched an infographic show video of like 10 parasites, and most of them are worms. And there's one that specifically lays eggs in your asshole.
And then they itch.
Which I guess you can call me a worm, folks, because I'm itching a few up. I don't know.
You're scratching a couple butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making them itchy.
Do you eat ass? No, I feed ass. My eggs. That's funny.
I supply ass. I'm a distributor. I feed ass my eggs. Yep. Yep, here we are on the pod, folks.
Keep that in, dude. Keep that in.
Oh, and then the brain amoeba? Now I'm worried about brain-eating amoeba in rivers.
Oh, yeah, you should be.
Okay. So do you not go... Does this affect...
You're finally awake.
Does this... Yeah, but I like to swim, though. If I see a body of water, I like to swim in it.
No, I think a lot of lakes, like... it has to be really intense. Dogs will die in certain lakes every year, but that same lake for us won't do anything.
What have
to
studies
us.
shown about me?
Well, I
Not
haven't...
because I'm not a dog.
I'm saying it's probably fine for you to swim into a lake.
I feel like that's based on nothing.
Okay.
What are you basing this on?
I think the lakes that you should... I think the lakes that you should be aware of are lakes that will be made...
Aware to me?
Yeah, aware to you.
Okay.
I think they'll show themselves.
Oh, there's like a registry.
I think when you Google some things...
When you go to a lake, it has to tell you
yeah,
that it
it's like
has
it's
brain
registered.
amoeba. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got amoebas.
So there's a map, and there's
Yeah.
a whole... yeah.
When you move in, they knock. Hey,
Yeah.
it's the lake.
It's a lake. I've killed a few kids because I ate their brains. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm pretty calm, no waves.
Yeah. Pretty
Just don't
chill.
let them near me is what we've all kind of decided. I'm not going to change.
Pretty chill now. Yeah. Well, this kid at Disney at a Disney World water park, like a 5-year-old, got a brain-eating amoeba there.
You
Which
died?
luckily I'm not frequenting water parks.
Yeah.
I'm not even rarely I'm not raring water parks.
I love a water park, though.
I'm not hardlying water parks.
Yeah. So the kid died?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Ate his brain.
Oh, my God.
Amoebatized.
And it became an amoeba?
He became an amoeba. Yeah.
Wow.
Amoeba, it is your time to rule. No, father. Mitochondrion, I am not ready. You are the powerhouse of the kingdom. This is
That's what everybody remembers.
this is
mitochondria.
yeah. This is the sequel to Osmosis Jones. They're
Yeah.
going very Black Panther with it. Amoeba, my time is over. It is your time. Yeah, the 5-year-old has to become an amoeba now. What is an amoeba?
I don't know. I know what one looks like.
Flubber.
Yeah.
But flubber's a big one. Amoebas are like, they said that amoebas eat neurons, which I thought were like thoughts. Right?
Sure,
Neurons
yeah.
are like the little
Yeah,
clusters.
that's what they do. They eat your dreams. They go, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's why you have nightmares, because the amoebas got too
You're
hungry.
never going to write a book. You're never going to learn French.
You are going to piss your pants in front of your second grade teacher. Send that bad dream down.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, yeah. He shits out worse dreams.
Yeah.
You are going to have sex with your mom. No.
You're going to have sex. These are good. These are juicy dreams.
Yeah. Oh,
This guy
thank
had
you.
big ambitions before
This
me.
guy dreamed he was Christ.
That one was juicy.
That one was nice. Yeah, man. RFK, a modern day Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs Christ.
I saw a bee attacking a worm the other day. A little bit of a nature is metal.
Yeah. How'd that go for the worm? Pretty bad.
The bee eventually left it alone, but the worm was...
Held its own.
It would do this, but the bee wasn't stinging it because I think it knew it would die. So it would just it was ramming itself into it, and the worm was just like... The worm can't defend itself, and it's blind. So then you're just crawling around, and then you're like, what?
Yeah, but he's way, in a whole different weight class, that worm.
He was bigger than the bee.
So it's like when a little guy's trying to get punches in, and the big guy's like, but he's totally blind. You know? He's Hodor out there.
And then the bee eventually gave up.
Did you follow the worm? Because the worm could have died.
I watched the worm for a little bit. It kept moving for a few minutes after.
Okay.
So, yeah, just got some turbulence. It's like when you see a shark with scars. You're like, oh, you have a past.
Yeah.
Had a couple of burn marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to fix you.
Yeah.
I want to date the shark.
Jump it. I want to date it. Yeah, that's what we mean. You're kind of jumping the shark. No, I want to date the shark. Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's crazy.
We thought you of all people
It's never
would
gonna work.
appreciate a shark.
No, I mean, I respect them, and I think respect is a foundation for love. It's like my octopus friend. You guys have seen that show?
Nobody gave him
Let's try to
shit.
fall in love with different animals.
Yeah. This is America. We should be
Right?
able to eat and love.
If we can't eat them or train them,
we may as well
we
love them.
we love them. Right? That's
so
why
what can we do with them, guys?
That's why we couldn't train the crocodiles and the sharks, because they wanted to be seen as equals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how are we gonna make this work? If you get home before me, do not eat the dead bear in the fridge. That I've been saving that. The shark's like, but I've been moving literally all day. I can't stop moving, and you won't even let me eat the dead bear. You know what? I don't love that little fish that eats stuff off you. It's kind of weird.
It's a part of me. It comes with who I am.
I call him a ramoray. Little nature joke for
Moray,
you guys. Yeah. Pretty good.
Moray's little Hispanic little fish down there.
Yeah.
Moray.
Hey, I got that.
Thanks, Moray.
Deliciosa. Oh, thank you, man. So what are they eating off the sharks?
I don't know. I think
Is
what
it
they're doing, I
leftovers?
don't know if it's really eating as much as it is freeloading. Get
No, I think they're cleaning the scale. I don't
No,
know.
I
I think
know what you
gunk
mean.
gets caught up, you
it?
know.
Yeah, I think they're kind of
They're
like
one big earbud, those sharks. They get all gunked up.
Yeah, well, they got to be never moving throughout this sea.
Yeah, so they're,
They're always collecting
stuff's
stuff.
yeah, they're collecting.
bugs are always hitting the driveway. I mean, the windshield.
Bugs are in the windshield. Yeah, and they're eating shit, and it's just
Yeah.
flying. They don't have napkins and hands to wipe themselves
That
off.
must have been really intense for the first fish to make a move to suck itself onto the shark.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it feels like when you finally grab a girl at homecoming for the first time in high school. I'm doing it.
There's just so much on there that I want.
I think I'm gonna.
I'm gonna go for it, you guys.
Oh,
And she turns around like, all right. Oh my God, it's happening. Starts sucking her neck. She's like, oh, fuck. Oh, I've been wanting someone to get that. I just didn't know how to ask. Yeah, how does that start? The first remora? Hey, you look like you could use a cleanup.
It's like when the shark is finally stopped. It's like the guy with the car wash who sprays your windshield.
Yeah.
No. Trust me, it's going to be good.
And this time it actually is.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. It's everything I ever wanted out of a car wash.
You should stay with me forever on top of my car.
Squeegee in my windshield. He's sucking me off. This is the best. And you'll be with me forever? Yeah, I live with you now. He's in your passenger seat. Scrubbing the windows, jerking you off. Sorry, I don't mean to make it so sexual,
That's
but
the only way
the
sharks-
remoras are sucking on them, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
like-
think that's how they're hanging on. They're just being like, oh.
Yeah, it's consensual worms, yeah.
Oh.
You're so cool. Just to live a day in the life is a privilege.
Just to be a moray on the skin. Look at that. Oh. Get off my shark.
No pictures, please.
It's like the fat girl at a bar.
Yeah.
No.
We're just here for a bite. We don't want to talk. No, I'm interested. I want to get to know this guy. No. He's bad news. Hammerheads are all the same. That is not cool. I was on a hammerhead. Those guys are jerks. They don't tip. They smell bad. my remora is veering. It's veering off into something else.
Sorry, he's from a different time, my moray.
Yeah.
He's old.
He got he has a brainworm actually. He's never been the same. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good worm name for the Kennedys.
Wormlord.
Yeah, Wormlord's not bad.
Wormlord Kennedy. WL Kennedy. WLK.
WLK. Yeah,
WLK could
Wormlord
be
Kennedy. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it all started in 1963 on that fateful afternoon in Dallas when he put a little too much CO2 in the worm delivery device.
This is not a gun.
In the worm gun. In the fucking egg launcher. Target acquired. Launching egg. Shit.
Oh.
Oh, wait, hold on. Jackie's going to pick it up. Maybe she'll put it back.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll put it back in there. She's on their team. Because when he got shot, she crawls onto the hood to try to get the brain back and finish the mission. Finally succeed. They finally succeed. They install RFK. He's probably getting close to Trump, trying to transfer.
Oh, yeah.
Transfer some eggs.
I'm sure Trump is in charge of a lot of worms.
Now Trump's going to probably make him head of health and food safety and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the worm needs.
Mm-hmm. His plan is working out perfectly.
Phase 2 is almost complete. Once he's in charge of the food supply, he'll be able to distribute eggs and seed the population. Soon WLK's dream will be realized.
I've come to inspect
that little black boys and little white boys will all have worms in their heads and serve the one true beast.
Mama Worm!
It's just a big mama's boy. That is always a funny turn in sci-fi when you realize who they're worshiping.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's this guy?
Yeah.
It's just a mom worm
bigger
with
nerd.
huge tits.
Yeah.
Right. They're taking turns.
Oh, a newest offering for you, mommy worm. 8 billion humans.
All right.
Thank you.
Your brother had 12 billion coagulons last week.
Oh.
I'll do better, mommy.
I'll find a new planet full of worms for you.
Full of worms, and WLK's coming with me. I have found my Messiah. My worm Christ.
He brings him to every...
It brings him to every planet.
What we need to do is the vaccines are killing people.
Vaccines probably kill worms.
Yeah.
That's probably what they do. The government knows about this plot. And so in every vaccine, even ivermectin, I heard, they implant a little
dewormer?
some worm-seeking drones, little deworming agent.
Yeah.
Isn't ivermectin deworming?
I think so.
Isn't a dewormer for horses?
I think so.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Rogan's staying safe. He knows about the worm
Yeah,
plot.
he knows about the worm. He's killing all the worms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who else? Rosemary. That was a surgical attempt
That
to implant a worm
yeah. Yeah, they were just kind of rookies back
that
then.
failed. Yeah, they didn't, they're still working it out. They're still figuring out the best delivery device was a fucking pig in Guatemala that was turning over a spit.
Who would have thought? So simple.
They'll do it themselves.
That's probably what it was. He probably ate some like indigenous, like very lovely meal that was, just not
He didn't say anything. He's
He-
like,
he
it's a little
didn't-
undercooked, but
he didn't see the C certification on the
Yeah.
outside of the tent. He might have thought twice. It turns out there's just a big W on the tent. It's been claimed by the worms.
only eat her if you already have worms.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and then there's these poor girls in Angola and Papua New Guinea, and these witches that are seizing up, foaming at the mouth, and it's all because of the worms. Yeah, I guess I don't have much more about the worms. I think we've probably stretched these worms as far as they can go.
It's a long worm.
A lot of worm.
That's what you told me.
Oh, actually, this is a good pivot out of the worms. So you know how you turn on Netflix and it's like, here's, the newest show that you might like right on the title screen?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Molly's is. It's like TV shows, 10 Things I Hate About You, John Tucker Must Die, She's a Man, all movies of various qualities recommended to her. I go to my Netflix, which, it's integrated with every piece of technology I use. They have all this data. The first thing on the big headline, Snake I.O.
What's I.O.?
It's one of these games where you start as a small snake and you want to get bigger, so you eat other snakes to get big, and you play online with other people.
Okay.
It's one of these, you just start as a snake and you eat little things and you get bigger, and then you try to eat other snakes, and it's a multiplayer game. So who they've identified me as is like, no, you don't want to watch and like participate in culture of any sort. You want to pretend you're a snake, Zach. Must be your top
That's
interest.
what we've concluded.
That you are most likely to click on being a snake over like watching people even represent reality. You can't even handle a representation of the real world. You want to be a snake in a white world where other snakes try to eat you and you try to eat them.
And let me ask you this. How big is your snake?
Well, I got the high score yesterday.
Wow.
So 800.
Wow.
800 links.
800 links.
No, I have not played.
Okay.
I don't even know how you would play with a remote. That seems like the worst experience ever. On my shitty lagging remote that like can't keep up with how quick my thumbs are.
Yeah.
I mean, my Roku is slow as shit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's because we've just had it for a long time, but it sucks. It cannot handle my Snake I.O. input, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Can't handle my I or my O. The O's not going to match the I. Anyway, so that's just a little something.
That's funny.
Me, Snake I.O. It's pretty disheartening when you realize who you are based on what you're advertised.
Yeah. I thought you were, at the beginning I thought it was like a Miami PD. I was like, ooh, Snake I.O. It was like a Law and Order show. I was like, oh shit. Did you ever watch
This detective just moved here from Japan. His name
Detective I.O.
is I.O., but he's actually a double agent who's a snake. Yeah, I don't have much more.
Okay. You want to angles it?
Yeah, hit me with some angles.
Angles coming up.
Hit me with
Sorry, I got to pee.
You got to pee, but hey, good to have a stopping point. All right, folks, thanks for listening. If you want to check out the rest of this episode, we're going to break and head to the Patreon. Thank you.